Good afternoon, I'm Landry Jones, Conservation Grazing Specialist for MFA Incorporated. We're out here on my 80-acre farm where I've been in the process of about the last year and a half of converting this to native warm season grass. Last year about this time we were taking a German millet hay crop off. We were using that hay crop, that cover crop, as essentially a smothering technique to suppress the weeds. And then came back in early this spring, late May, early June, and planted our native warm season grasses, about 10 pounds the acre of big blue and Indian grass. And so if you've been following the videos kind of how this process is going, I just wanted to give you a brief update now. It's about September 8th. And right now is a good time to kind of evaluate your native warm season grass plantings that you've done this year. We're about 45 days prior to the average frost date here in Southwest Missouri. And so need to be having, fairly mature plants at this time. If we're still in that seedling stage, especially prior to that 3 to 5 leaf seedling stage, some of these plants may not overwinter well and be viable for next year. So right now is kind of a good time to evaluate those stands. Also on this 20 acres, if you remember in the videos, we started the process early this spring. We had a good plan in place. We started with a good herbicide plan of imazapic down just prior to planting as a pre-emergent. Got our seed in the ground, had good soil moisture, and then ended up having kind of Mother Nature throw us a curveball. We were very wet early this spring and then turned off hot and dry, and actually was in somewhat of a drought here in Southwest Missouri. And so the native warm season grass seedlings didn't take off like they probably normally would have, and so Johnson grass and some other weeds started to come into play. And so we had several techniques that we used. We did wicking. I did some high bush hog clipping. Actually ended up having to come back in once our native grass seedlings were more mature and put another herbicide plan in place using Outrider on the Johnson grass and 2,4-D on some of the weeds. And so just wanted to give you a brief update and kind of show you what's going on. I feel like we've got a good stand here of native warm season grasses. Anytime you've got native warm season grass going to seed the first year, that's always a good sign. We had good fertility. We made sure our P and K levels were right, so that's helped things out. But we've got Indian grass growing to seed there. If you look, you can kind of look across the planting there. There's some big blue stem that's head high, getting ready to go to seed. Plant densities with native warm season grass densities are in good shape. I feel like we're above that one plant per square foot kind of threshold that you need to be looking at. And so you might hear some folks say that you really can't graze native warm season grasses until that third year. Well, stay tuned to the videos that I've got coming up. This field here that I've got is dense enough, and it's a good stand. We got the fertility right. We'll have cows in here next year, and I'll have videos of that process, so stay tuned.